Hello, welcome to my art studio. If you know me, you know that I love painting flowers, and over my time of being an artist, I've picked up a few different techniques that I found really helpful and also really game-changing when it comes to painting flowers. So I'm going to be sharing with you today 3 of the most important floral painting techniques with acrylics. So let's dive in. So here I just have an acrylic paper pad and a paper palette. I've got some water here, I've got an old rag here just to damp off any excess water. I've got a flat edge paintbrush and a palette knife. And my colours are titanium white, magenta, phthalo blue green shade and yellow. Now the reason why I'm using those colours is I really like to mix my own colours. But feel free to use whatever colours, make you feel comfortable. So the first technique I'm going to show you is the one stroke petal. Now what I mean by that is rather than kind of doing a petal and then colouring it in, we're just going to use the shape of the brush to create the petal itself. Okay, so that's what I'm going to kind of teach you first. Now the first thing that we want to do is create a nice little base of the flower. So I want you to kind of see past all those details and the petals and just create what you can see underneath that. Now for that, I can see an orange, so I've got some magenta and yellow. I'm going to pop just a little bit of blue in there, just to take that saturation down a little bit. And then I'm going to pop that down as my base. What I'm going to do is take some white to add to that. And I'm going to start to build up around the flower. Now this is not particularly the technique I want to show you yet. I'm just kind of creating the base for us to be able to do that. You can see that I'm kind of looking at the reference photo here and realizing that this bottom section is wider than this top bit of where those light tones kind of go. And feel free to, blend that out if you want to. Okay, I'm going to give my brush a little rinse off. So next I'm going to create a bit of the darker orange. You see like the darkest kind of parts. So I'm going to do the same with the magenta and the yellow. I'm going to add a tiny bit of blue into this. And perhaps just a little bit of water. We've got a nice kind of burnt orange colour. And then using the shape of my brush, I'm going to add in some of those shadowy lines. Now, what I mean with the one brush technique is rather than like looking and trying to create a line, I want you to look at the reference photo, like see where you can see this colour, pop the line down and then pull away and then build up the rose in this way. So rather than having like a curve on all the parts, they're kind of like edges. You can see that they're more like these diagonal or triangular edges. And sometimes we can get very hung up on trying to create a rose shape, whereas these angular edges really change a lot. So then let's see how this could work, because they're just the very thin lines. Let's see how this kind of one stroke can also work as we build the rose up. So I'm going to add some white into that. So you see a nice peach. And this is where you can start to think about that one brush stroke as well, rather than adding it in a line like we just have. We can pick out one of the petals from our reference photo, and what we can do, we can pop the brush down lightly, then press down and build that up and have a look at the reference photo and create that shape. So that was all in one brush stroke. Now what we do, we just keep on doing this same technique as we build up each petal. And what's great about this is that I'm not, stressing too much about the individual, adding every single petal, but we can add just a few to give that suggestion. And you'll see that it doesn't just go round and round and round. It's just made up of these little individual moments. And giving that to the painting, just more of a suggestion, allows you to also keep that kind of loose, painterly feel. And you can see already, I mean, this is what, less than 5 minutes, and we already have such a solid base for our rose that we can then go on top of. So with a rose like this, I'd probably wait for that to dry and just continue going on with these layers. I can also see on these petals around here, there's a little bit of a green tinge. So I'm going to add a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the yellow to add in this kind of green. And we can go ahead and add some of that in too, and that will just give a really nice little change of colour temperature. I'm just going to add in some white to this for some of those outside petals. So I kind of get some of the paint, pop some down, and then pull away. So let's have a look at the second technique. This is using a palette knife. I know a lot of people worry about palette knife, but honestly, it gets easier the more that you use it. So what I might do is go in with the darks or the lights. What I might start with is the darks first. So I'm going to create some of that nice deep orange again with the magenta and some of the yellow. And I might not dull it with the blue. I might keep it that nice vivid orange for now. And then I'm going to take my palette knife, pop some paint just on the end and create a bit of a curve. So I want you to kind of think about using it like this. And what's lovely about this is it takes away so much of the control and it creates like a little happy accident. You can also do like lines like this, like we did in the beginning. It really depends on what kind of look you want. If you want that angular feel, or if you want more of a soft curve. And what I like to do is just pick out some of those little nuggets. So perhaps also the center of the rose, you can just take literally the shape of the palette knife and just like dab it on. And you can pull in those shadows and start building up. Now what's nice about this is you can make it kind of as abstract and as textured as you really want to. Another nice technique is when you press on, you can pull away and it will create these lovely little moments, especially if you're doing it on canvas. Of course, this is paper. But what I mean by that, I'll show you on this piece of paper. If you kind of take some, you can pop it on and then drag it away. And you get these lovely little marks, which is really nice because what you can do is leave the ones that you like and then paint over the ones that you don't like. And it gives it that really nice kind of textural abstract feeling. Okay, so that's kind of adding those darker colours. Now what I could do is take some white and add that in. And it doesn't even have to be mixed properly, but then I can take that and do the same thing, but with some more of the highlights. And every time I'm kind of looking at the reference photo, looking at my painting and building up those layers. So the third technique that I really want to show you, I'm going to call it the cutaway. I'm not sure if there's even a professional name for it, but what I like to do is carve back into what I put down. So I feel like painting is this constant push and pull. So just because something's down doesn't mean it has to stay a part of the painting. So what I'm going to do, well, first of all, I'm going to get some more white paint. But because I love this kind of loose, impressionistic, abstract feeling to my paintings, you can sometimes lose the shape of what you're trying to convey. So I always try and bring that back in at the end with my background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a bit of, I think like a blue-grey vibe would be nice. So I'm going to take some of the blue. I'm going to add in a bit of yellow and a bit of the magenta and a bit of white. That's okay, I think I still want it a bit more grey, so I'm going to add in a bit more yellow and a bit more pink. Now, what I'm doing now to make this grey is, I know it's strange because I've just put yellow and pink in. This is all just colour theory. I'm going to go a lot more in depth into colour theory in a different lesson. And if you kind of really want to dive deep into colour, Learn to Paint with Confidence is definitely the best course to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this colour, and you can use any background colour you like. I'm going to look at my reference photo really carefully and use the shape of my brush to again create some of those angles. And it's literally like painting in like negative space. And so I pick out kind of like those shapes of what I want and kind of drive down those more angular shapes as well. Because especially with roses, it can tend to get a little bit very soft and round and, you know, all those. And actually it's nice to bring in a bit of those angles. So I just make my way through the reference photo, kind of like doing spot the difference and creating some more of those angles, or changing like little bits that I don't necessarily like or want. See, like this moment here, I absolutely love this, so I really want to keep that. So I've just gone up to the paint with the angle of my brush. And literally half of this is just getting used to one of these flat edge brushes and creating the angles. And you can see already how different this painting looks just from adding in this background. And it's not just a case of going around what you've put down. It's literally like drawing again, but with the negative space. And as part of that technique, something I do like to do as well is soften some of those edges. We've added a few hard edges. It can feel a bit pasted on. So what you can also do in moments is kind of take your brush with still the background colour on, and this time we'll use the flat edge. So we'll take it perpendicular to the painting to make this sort of pattern. And you can even like kind of pull that in, just soften some of those edges. Perhaps here as well, this is a bit sharp, so I might just pull that in. Not everywhere, but just on some of those edges, that also can be nice. And when I say like push-pull, that also means you can go back over with the rose and do the same thing. So I could take some of this white with this orangey cream again and add in just some little moments of those petals again. Even some of that white, perhaps where the light's just hitting it, and kind of go back over it. So this step and stage is really about kind of redefining what's already in there, using the background to redraw your shape, to really define those edges and give it a bit more of a very particular shape. And this is really what I heavily rely on the reference for, is I love to play with this abstract texture and this palette knife techniques and all this brush work, but bringing in those shapes from the reference photo is really what helps keep it with that realistic edge. I really hope that you enjoyed watching those techniques come together. Perhaps it's inspired you to try one in your own paintings. Let me know in the comment section which was your favourite or which one you're going to try. Now, if you would like a little bit more guidance and some step-by-step help with floral paintings, do check out my brand new online floral painting course. I'll drop the link to it in the description box and the comment section. In there I go much deeper on techniques and tips and tricks of how to bring your paintings to life, and what I really love to do is create that impressionistic feel and that loose painterly feel, but still keep the painting looking realistic and professional. And that's done really with colour palettes composition, and we cover all that in the online course. So if you would like a little bit more of a deep dive on floral painting, do check us out in the course, and it would be wonderful to have you inside. But most of all, have a beautiful rest of your day. Keep painting, keep getting inspired, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!